Hello, friends and fellow Monkeyology enthusiasts. I am Optimus Prime. No, I'm not. Hi, guys. I'm in a weird mood today. Welcome, each and everybody. This is our first Saturday stream. I am GloKidd's Jaeger. We are back to play full Throttle Remastered. We're going to be playing it with the commentary. Hi, ATM Machine. I hope you didn't just hear my very embarrassing Optimus Prime impression. It was great. It wasn't, though. So, let's get started. How you doing today, man? I hope it's a nice Saturday wherever you are. Oh, okay. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Dust spill. We are loading the dust spill. All right. Yes, we're going to do...
Yeah, so where were we with 3D?
So,
like 3D
we already saw this last time, but we're going to go ahead.
We were like, no, we love 2D
this anyway.
stuff, but we have all these
and then back to Mine Road Fighting.
Dark Forces was just before this, right? Or just it was.
I did not get the hoverfast. We'll double back and grab that before we hit the mines. Good call.
And that
Good
was
call.
sort of knocking off Doom to some extent.
It had 3D.
So was Rebel already happening? Because we had a 3D department. There was like 3 guys.
Yeah.
I think
Rebel
that's
Assault.
that's why we had it. What them was the Rebel Assault stuff.
Yeah, I think so. And then, we were talking about there's no way we can draw. Like we were looking at all the reference material from that anime film Akira. All the motorcycles were like, there's no way we can draw this stuff by hand. But then we were trying to figure out how do we get it to look 2D and just compressing the heck out of the palette and simplifying it.
This was
Yeah, because they probably didn't have the cartoon renderers back then, right?
No, we didn't have cell
No.
shading or anything.
No. So it's
I
just
remember there was a big struggle was trying to get it to actually match.
yeah. So we were just trying to limit the
Why
palette.
did it
and then
need
we
to
had
autosave
the,
there?
We had the
Or was that
3D
a load?
men on the bike, and then we
Interesting.
would draw over it.
Let's go. Pretty sure it's this way. Might be the other direction. No. It makes sense. Be weird if it was doing a load. I hope one day we get cool physical editions of these as well. Seeing too much downloadable media just disappear into the ether. Yeah, PlayStation, changed their tune for now, but that's just what will happen eventually. And I've even had Windows platforms, like Games for Windows Live. I bought 2 games off that are impossible to get at now. I cannot get at Fable, the Lost Chapters that I purchased through there, or Gears of War. Both of them just gone. Licenses not available, not even through the Windows Marketplace. So it's it happens, and it sucks when it does, and having a physical release of some sort will at least preserve it. Get on the bike. We don't walk. And because as we've been playing through, we've been pointing out little firsts for things, so I do yeah. That is all sorts of terrible sounding. Is that super crackly on your guys' end too? Because it is on mine, and it sucks. I have the replacement microphone on the way. I use the... Now I remember to use the fertilizer. And of course I click past it. Yay.
Oh, Tim, chainsaw. I threw a party at my house, which is up in the woods in the country.
Oh, yeah.
And it was
Like,
in the middle
and that
of
totally makes sense, and I never made that connection before. When you said, when I was trying to use the fertilizer on that other guy, and you're like, well, he has goggles or glasses, so of course it wouldn't work, right?
And he came up to a fallen tree across.
Well, I mean, she had it coming. Also, to me, she's Razor. Everybody with red hair in these games has to become Razor. This is pointless. This is just an exercise in dying.
And I go walking up to Tim, and you were genuinely scared. Because he
wonder
had read
why.
about stuff like this.
I need the board.
Up in the woods.
She is Razor. That makes sense.
No, that guy's got
I
the
remember that.
Completely believable Razor.
rebel
That was a good part.
tattoo on his.
Nice. That is sort of really awesome, and a connection that I wouldn't have made before because I wasn't like as big into Maniac Mansion as I am now. What's his weapon again?
Time for the final exam.
Oh, he has the board. I need it. No. Okay. Yeah. So for some reason, so what happened there was for some reason I was using the damn mouse wheel to try to change between weapons because of other adventure games. And it didn't work, and I just died like a chump. That sucked. Nice. Yeah, it's right click. Then there's this guy who just has an awesome weapon. What's the best weapon to deal with?
Like a circle
Do we-
of bikers randomly driving.
Well, it's like Highway 9. Actually, I wonder if we do. There's a highway.
I love
called
this
Highway
thing.
9 on the way down this like Santa Cruz that bikers love. It's an actual like biker road. Or bikers
Michael's the one
go
with the
on a lot
chain
of
whip.
biker
Interesting.
cars on the way.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So that's real. That's right out of the
Ah.
pages of California history.
Is that
Is it going to be this?
It's
Okay, good.
off of 17. Or it's the mountain road that you would take next to 92 and
Holy shit.
Highway 1.
Oh my god, it's going to do that to me this whole time. Yeah, but I got a board now, dude. Oh shit, get back. Don't get the squirt until we get the board. Hey, bud. Oh. Oh. Yeah, no, you need the board. Really? Now I have to try that. I totally have to try that now. Ah.
Back for more? Oh, my eyes!
I love how I'm like, I have no regard for my bike. It's just like, let's grind our way right up beside her. Now I gotta try the chainsaw thing. Never done this. Nice. Thank you for telling me about that. I feel like with that level of animation, it should be part of every playthrough.
Freaky punk. Now I'm mad.
Just touch. Because, I mean, realistically, somebody starts swinging a chainsaw at you, you're out of there, dude. Alright, now for the board. Keep your head up. Ah! Maybe next time I'll try to bait out a squirt and get out of the way first.
Now I'm mad.
Give me my goddamn cavefish. I want his glasses now. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this. It's like, that's his secret weakness. should not be as big of a thing. I should already have the glasses and probably be taking off into the cave off to the right here. I know it's in one of the tunnels. Well, yeah, but I just keep getting sploshed at the time. Not a fan of Rottweilers. They got off on the wrong foot with me. Can't even dodge the whoosh. I've actually never had this hard of a time with it before, but I'm sure I'm just doing something silly. Yeah. Which is what I thought I tried to do first, but obviously not well. Hey, look. We were just talking about you earlier. Hey, man.
Does the sound of you driving over a rough road?
Steve, I remember you were duly hard on me to get that sound right of the tire going over those reflectors in the center of the road. And it makes that sound. We all know that sound. It's like, it sort of sounds like puck, you know, puck, 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 puck. And I have to admit, I had a really hard time making that sound. Finally, one time I was just driving and holding my arm out the window of my truck with a microphone and running over those things.
What the heck?
I ended up using those, but it was
I spent too much time on the... wow, I don't think I've ever failed in that way either. That is bullshit. That is... well, I am suck, apparently, but... wow. I've never done that either. Even when I first played the game. Hey, guy. Stop. Go away. Okay, don't do that thing. Not clean as fucking office. Also, I really need to get that new mouse that I've been talking about for like ever. I had to replace my microphone first, though, which is frustrating. No, you put your head down. You look again. Come on, fucker. You can do it. You can do it. There. That's how it's done. And I don't think we fucking, killed the guy there. Well, maybe, but, I mean, why did he blow up just leave it here for now. We got it. It's just terrible. This is a good song, too. Just for it to sound like this is ass. I'm really hoping that's just my headphones are trash. Because it sounds fine everywhere else. It makes no sense. Equip goggles. It's not sounding like that on your end? Good, yeah. When I'm on the main road there, it's super crackly and distorted. And hoping it's just my headphones or... Oh, okay. No, you're saying it is, but damn it. I wonder what's going on, because I played it on different platforms. I played this on PSN, and it didn't sound like that. But no exit. We want to go to the hideout, which will probably after. Oh, this is a tunnel. It's not the tunnel, though. It's more of an arch than a tunnel, I guess. It is right after an exit, I do remember. Yeah, it's not there, but it Is it randomized or is it a static location? Not there. Yeah, well, we'll be hitting that. And yeah, I've always remembered it to be like shortly after one of these crossovers too. I vaguely remember it's typically in a tunnel or under one of these deeper arches. And right after an exit, it pops up right away. Cave. Yeah, there. And there was the arch. Boom! And now we're in the demo. I got it right this time. I want to do. I'm gonna switch here because there's some. So this is they made 3D models for this that you know, when you're driving around, that's why it moves around. You know, it's being highly digitized, but then when you so let's go back. And it's obviously something they decided they didn't need to do in the remaster. They didn't really have to do a whole lot with tons of extra 3D modeling and stuff. Probably because they're doing it in the same workflow anyway. Let's throw that before we hit the commentary. Then we pop it off. Then we go into our sprite version instead. The bike is still a 3D model, but we are no longer part of that 3D model, and now we are our 2D pixel selves. And yeah, that's just something that I couldn't help but notice the first time that I played, and that continued to notice throughout years after, because, you know, they're getting into 3D modeling as what? Pardon? Oh, so what I mean here is when you're sitting on the bike, this is more of a technical thing than an actual thing. As soon as you sit on the bike, notice how at that point it jumps in between the sprite that we had straight to this. This is a 3D model as opposed to what it was before, and it's just part of the bike. Yeah, that's what I was saying there. And when you do this, though, however, in the remastered version, they really didn't feel any need to do any of that. While yes, you still see that sort of jump, because yeah, he's no longer part of the been on a bike object. It seems a little smoother, but it's still a little noticeable there too. But still, it's not a jump between 3D and 2D. Just something I always couldn't help but notice when I first played the demo back in the day. And something, yeah. Yeah, I do think they did a fair amount more tweaking, and they were careful to do more like color matching and stuff too, because in the 2D to 3D version, like Ben's skin tone completely changes, and of course they are. That's like the beginning of it, without effective lighting and everything like that. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah. Now you could go through the whole demo spiel of, okay, so I put it there and then I rode off, but nobody ever, you know, I didn't hop on, didn't attach it, so I didn't bring it with me. And then I tried to go the other way without clicking. Well, actually, no, we are going to do that at least once so we can have hear some of Denny Delk's wonderful cavefish dialogue. Yeah, that is sort of crazy. That, but it's like, let's let them chase us. Get this cutscene because it's beautiful. The cavefish really did get a lot of the close-up animation. It's Murray.
Where to go?
Not yet.
What?
Not yet.
My brothers, we have been visited by a spirit. The spirit of Ricky Myron, come to reclaim his ramp. Why do you leave it here? He can't use it because he is a spirit. He is only expressing his anger, which we must honor. Oh, angry spirit of Ricky Myron, we honor your rage. But for now, the ramp must go back.
Maximum Fish. It seems like a very Mad Max name for him as well, which is extremely appropriate. Also, I don't know why, but when I looked over here in the corner of my eye, it reminded me of the cave exit in Shadows of Darkness in Quest for Glory 4. No actual correlation. Just sort of looked like it for a second out the corner of my eye. Hey, there's little symbol-y things here. There's a face-looking thing and an eye. Is that in the original? It is. There's an eye. Interesting. Well, I mean, they're blind, right? So maybe they would have iconography that fetishizes eyes. I don't know. Yeah, there's the whole like mouthed third eye is, or the toothed nose, because I guess these are noses here. Take that, ramp.
Taking any strolls in here.
That's fair. I jumped ahead of myself in the pushing the buttons. I can't remember. Is this double click to get to the next scene? Like, obviously not in these areas because they're highly animated, but that works incredibly well to knock those little yellow pegs off. Yeah, the Humongous Games is really well where it pioneered.
I'm done with these boys.
I will admit I have not played much with the Humongous Games. I was aged out of them by the time they came out, right? So I fiddled with them a bunch later on when I was heavily into helping with Scumvium. That is very interesting that he's like, okay, fuck these goggles. They're fancy ass goggles that have like all sorts of tech and shit and tell you where. But maybe that means that the average person has a massive disdain for the cave fish in this world. Similar to, say, how the average Tatooine denizen feels about the sand people. Maybe that's an additional parallel. Never really looked too much at this board.
Many casualties. One of the gorge's many casualties. Nah, that's federal property, I think.
Who cares about federal law?
Now, this is the area where we were originally going to have the whole Ricky Myron section, right?
We were jumping over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jumping
a gorge. We do have that here with the gorge.
Oh,
You
yeah.
jump over.
No, but there was the stunt show and the whole Ricky Myron character stuff.
Ricky Myron, by the way, is a kid I went to. I was in 4th grade,
Oh, yeah?
and we're on the playground, and I had this rock, and for no reason at all, I want to see how high I could throw this rock in the air.
Oh, I do believe
Nah,
we talked.
that's federal property, I think. Notice, jumping the Cuyahoga Gorge, although tempting, is highly illegal and dangerous. We recommend the recently constructed Cuyahoga Gorge Bridge for transgorge travel.
I
Drive
don't know.
safely.
I don't know.
Tightrope walkers, hang gliders, human cannonballs. Many have tried to cross the mighty Cuyahoga Gorge, and many have failed, except for Ricky Myron, the Flying Torch, who jumped the gorge on a stock Corley motorcycle. It was later uncovered that he had modified his Corley with a pre-regulation destroyer-class solid-fuel recoil booster and an automotive hover lift. Myron said he would gladly replicate the jump to clear his name, but his special ramp was stolen by a mysterious truck hijacking motorcycle gang. It's a single hoverlift unit.
Thank you for the detailed instructions
Looks okay
on how to
for
do
an aftermarket part.
You just threw it on
Alright,
for fun.
I've modified my bike enough.
That's interesting. I didn't have by reading that after having all this stuff. He's going for it on his own. He's just fucking going for it on its own. Yeah. I've never. Okay. All right. Interesting. I guess it's like, well, I guess there's no reason to hold off anymore. That's a cool way to start this cutscene. You get the whole backstory before it. Interesting. I really want to get my hands on that Gone Jackal CD. I still haven't after all these... Wait, no, I think I did eventually. What the fuck happened to that? Well, I guess I gotta get it again.
Yeah, you remember how we got the rock and roll to sound so good in the game?
Oh, we just deliberately distorted it?
Yeah, we turned it up because of the low sample rate. We turned it up so it was about, I think about 50% too
That makes sense,
clipping.
because...
It was clipping, so all the waveforms were being chopped.
Right.
For all you audio geeks out there. It's a real no-no.
Yeah.
But it sounded,
But it
was
good.
the best way to do it for that particular
Well,
sound.
since we're talking about Smush, which originated, I believe, with Rebel Assault, right? With Vince, in an earlier incarnation at least. And Vince liked to do everything himself, and we were a little miffed in the sound department because we found out that he had dubbed the Star Wars main theme himself using a boombox.
Right.
And the headphone output.
Right.
So, you know, more geeky audio stuff, but basically a headphone signal is an amplified signal, right, to drive the headphones, and he put that right into the computer, to the Soundmaster card, and sampled it. And it sounded really big and huge and over the top, and we said, Vince, let people do this who know how. So we couldn't get it to sound as good as he had it, no matter what we did. And then I finally realized the only way to get it to sound better, or even just a little better than what he had, was to deliberately clip it and overdrive the analog signal and
Sometimes
overdrive everything.
following the manual doesn't get your desired results. I never ever go to the front door because it's pointless. But hey, there's a commentary track here, so why not?
I want to talk about Roy Conrad because we listened to a lot of audition tapes for this game, and everyone you tell them they're going to be a biker does this really like tough. That was my tough guy voice. Like trying to be
like
super
Tasmanian
tough.
Devil.
Totally.
It always came through as trying to be tough, and I didn't like any of them. And then we heard
What's
Roy's
that?
voice, and it is
See their
really deep
presentation.
and tough sounding, but he's kind of gentle about
Sort
it.
of like
and
Satyrs.
something about the fact that he's not trying to sound tough that just made us love it all right away. The second he started talking, we were like, yeah.
Such a great voice.
And he looked nothing like the character.
No, he looked like a dad, like a gentle,
kindly old
fatherly.
Okay, well, let's enjoy some look messages then. Spider Medusa, nice.
That's
And it
one
looks like
big
has
door.
Satyr horns, the SATYR, that I'm probably not saying right. But the sharp goat horns going off either side. This one almost gets antlery.
Just like the cell doors in Solitary.
Satyr is
I'm
probably
here for the shareholders
that makes
meeting.
more sense.
Mr.
And
Ripburger's
frankly,
postponed the meeting
in a
until
lot of
Mr. Corley's
cases,
murderers are
you're
apprehended. All the
far
shareholders were notified.
far better read in these
Yeah.
just like
Well, I
watching
haven't
your
checked my voicemail lately,
Twitter
Mac.
and conversations that we've had while playing games. So, Satyr that makes more sense than Satyr, or heaven forbid trying to say it as like satire, which is probably just would be the wrong phonetic pronunciation due to spelling.
Souvenirs here.
I do have a love for etymology
We got your pennants.
and the origin of words.
We
I
got
love
it all
that
right
stuff.
here. Official Corley Motors merchandise. Drive your own derby car by remote control.
Goddamn
Our
button.
bunnies come with batteries. All right, let's see the cash, amigo.
I'll owe you.
No bucks, no yucks, compadre. Lovable little bunnies. The officially licensed bunny. What can I get you?
I'm looking for a good souvenir.
Well, good souvenirs is all I got. What can I fix you up with?
How about that little car there?
It's small, but it's not cheap, my friend. You better just take it for a test drive to make sure.
I forgot this part was in the demo.
Actually, let me think about it.
He who
So,
hesitates
it
goes
was-
home with Jack, and his kids hate him.
Thanks for the warning.
It's not okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. No, you said demo. But it was Demo Derby, and I glanced through. Yeah. Okay. Better let you get back to work.
Better let you get back to work.
All right, matey.
Oh, okay. Cool.
We got your t-shirts here. All sizes
That's
and
awesome.
colors. Phil,
Those weapons were out of weight.
I do. That's a gripe that I have about adventure games. I
you
spend a
be
long
keeping
time
cool
picking
and
up
looking
these
forward.
items. I don't care if they're useless. I don't
you
care
big
if they
fella.
they
Come get our derby
complicate
car
things
spin.
and make it, you know.
Souvenirs to remind you of
I
your special
want-
Smashatorium adventure. Buy your kids a bunny so they'll shut up on the long drive home.
Excuse me, but are those shirts, are they all cotton?
Well, let's just see here. 100% cotton.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm allergic to cotton.
Don't be a cheap jerk. Buy something.
Oh. Well, yeah, let's go to the bake. There's not much point going to that factory side yet. I mean, we all know where to kick, but oh, jeez. The road sign. Yeah, I guess adding in some extra padding. They're like, wow, this is the shortest game we've ever made, guys. And that's counting Loom. And then they're like, oh.
Here's the vultures' hideout on the other side of this field. I've heard a lot about the vultures. And I guess it's all true.
Yep.
I remember going into Tim's office at one point as the deadline was looming. He's like, Tim, you gotta cut the mine road or the bunnies.
God, I
He's
remember
like, I'm
that.
not cutting either one.
Mine Road or the bunnies?
Yeah, I'm like, you
Were
gotta
they the
cut
ones-
one, Tim. Something's gotta go.
We had
Or
already
it's a
cut
bump-
so much on this game, I was like, we can't cut anymore. And the bunnies are crucial to the narrative.
They are, though. I should have got closer to the edge. This is going to take forever before he gets into the minefield. You know what? I'm not going to wait that long. I'm not walking any further than that. There. Now it won't take a bloody year for it to blow up. I think the whole concept of it being March of the Bunnies had a big part in the inspiration too. Just seems like something you'd think of and then you'd want to build into something. And find a way to fit it into what you're doing. I love how Ben consistently manages to just keep having fun riding his bike throughout the whole game. Like, he doesn't have to take the big jump off of that. It's terrible for his forks and shocks today. He does it anyway because it's fucking fun and he's like, biker guy.
If we don't got it, then it stinks.
Totally.
Pat the bunny.
And
you know you want
even
to.
though it's super unnecessary, because you said the word saves, I am now saving. Even though it's completely unrelated. Let's throw that on top of dumpster. Horse's souvenirs.
You just can't get this stuff anywhere
okay,
else,
there's another technical thing. Very interesting. So if it, like how Gabrish bangs his head into the bloody little kid. Yeah, totally. Yeah, if they only played it the first time, it's like, no. But I'm just going to keep that guy that he just loves taking that fucking jump. And, you know, what's the point of having the big-ass bike if he doesn't? So, this is cool. So, the reason why I came back here is because this would have to be within the game code for this screen at least, a room identifier. So that room, for example, they are identifying as Horace's souvenirs. It probably has a different identifier in the code itself, but so makes me wonder if they added an extra layer of room IDs on top of it, like maybe in brackets. I don't know. Ever since I started looking more into coding itself, I sort of want to desperately just want to see the code these days and see how it's doing and try to pick apart from looking at the code itself, because I've never been good with this whole like viewing memory access data to reverse engineer what's going on, like how all these guys. Yeah, like the guys from Scum Revisited, how they figured it all in that place. Yeah, in Revisited, you only get these, like, 4-character name IDs that really has no real way to see. I think the devs from Sierra were a lot more cooperative when it came to reverse engineering, or at least trying. They accept a lot of community interaction when it came to patching and that sort of thing. Thankfully, LucasArts never went after BG Benny Boy or just Benny Boy, depending on what era you prefer. As quick and easy software, which has thankfully made it so we can still run some of these Windows-based games. It did seem to take a bit of a dive, and certainly when you look at the level of fan games that are out there, God, there's so many Space Quest fan games. There's so many, and these ones make it all the way out and get support, and sometimes even have guest voices from the original voice actors, and where's Activision suing the shit off of the other people who own those things now, right? And they're not. They're letting it happen, and so many cool things get shut down by Lucasfilm, not in this case the House of Mouse, but they were all litigious as fuck. So, which really made me sad to see how often Lucas Legal would go after even like Scum VM and stuff, and they'd always come to terms and find ways to, and then eventually they started realizing, oh hey, this works to sell these games on different platforms and shit, which they never really fully took advantage of, but okay. Wow, I got super distracted. Yeah. And we still have Benny Boy, thankfully, and he throws out updates from time to time, but Yeah. Yeah, and I have to say you're not wrong there at all, especially when it comes in fan development. These guys have gotten it down to a science where they can, do. Are we talking about? No worries. No worries. No need. Yeah, and I see where you're going and sort of what the implication is there. I've seen a little bit of the history, which is a shame, but I understand how people don't always get along. God, there's this one person that I know that I can't fucking stand, and he never did anything wrong. It's just that, anyways, he just rubbed me the wrong way. But that's enough of that, for sure. It's but when it comes to fan games and whatnot, I would love to see more on our side. I think that I really wish the Scum C project that was happening when people were creating a C-like code to create new Scum type like games with that could be played in like Scum VM and that sort of thing. Think that was really cool. I picked up their repository and started like I still chose to use Adventure Game Studio instead because it looked like somebody managed to do a conversion between the two, and I thought, well, maybe as long as I don't go too far off the deep end with that, I might be able to convert it to Scum C. Anyways, back to the game. Let's completely screw up this guy's inventory.
Some life into it.
Sure. Take it for a spin. Just don't go out of range. And it's cheap, too.
Oh no, not in
Hey,
there.
don't go in there.
Oh shit.
Now look what you did. The entrance is all the way through
I
the
want
back
this
room.
guy to be
Hang
Malcolm's
on, little
brother.
buddy. Daddy's coming.
Like Malcolm's
it's
screw up
just
brother.
being a
This
buddy.
guy should be Malcolm Corley's screw up brother. It totally is. Just forgot it. Okay. What's their commentary track in here? There was. Let's hear this commentary.
Skywalker Ranch to record a video that was for marketing purposes, which was the Gone Jackals playing. And I don't know what this is for, some B-roll that we recorded for marketing needs. But they also took a picture of the band and they made a leather jacket that said Full Throttle on it. And we filmed them playing in the same sound stages that the London Symphony Orchestra did Star Wars music on. And I just remember they came in and they wanted to pose with their bikes on the soundstage. So they rolled. There was like the night watchman who was like letting us into the building. We had permission to be in there, but he like saw the motorcycles getting wheeled in. He's like, are those okay to be indoors? And like, yeah. They're like, is
Just
that,
some five
he asked
bander,
one of
but
we had
it's
these actual
not.
biker guys who own the bikes wheel them in. He's like, are they gonna
But
leak on the wood?
I'm sure we can see the banner from
And the biker
like
guy's like,
a large
she'll leave her mark.
state out there.
Well, that's a good
Like,
segment.
but it's no big deal.
No, but okay. So we didn't even get the bunnies. Wow. Distract myself much? Get the bunnies. Like, did they bring back Peter Chan to redraw backgrounds? I guess, yeah, Peter Chan has had no problem working with Double Fine and being part of that team several times and all that. So, I think typically you kick it about there or something. It's either there or right around here. But it has to do when... Ah, damn it. No, probably not. But even if you could, it wouldn't be of any work. Now I'm just gonna poke at you. Probably not, anyway. And the remaster is the rock with the green glow on the edge. Well, that seems fun. Thank you for the tip. I am just curious now. So, like, this? Oh, wait, this one. Ha, boom. But wait until then. No. It's worth a shot. Because it wouldn't really matter if you went in there without getting that part. Because you just end up in this room that you can't do anything with. You can't get, you don't know the code, right? So, first, let's dump some bunnies. Oh, sorry. No, I said first, let's dump some bunnies. Not the box. Bunny. 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 Bunny.
I don't want to set off. I don't want to set off. I don't want to set off any of these boys.
Just let me walk down the path. Ah, God damn it. Fine. Put another goddamn bunny in there.
No. I don't want to set off any.
It's a shame that none of these others fling batteries off into the path when they explode.
No. I don't want to set off.
I mean, logically, if the batteries tend to stay intact and launch off, they could, like, launch off and land on a mine over here, too. I mean, that'd be handy. What if the game's really cruel and the RNG of where the mine placement is and the bunnies, what if it decides, okay, this bunny decided to start hopping this way instead, and, you know, what if you run out of bunnies before you make it all the way across? Because of just RNG. Because, yeah, I mean, it could just be mean like that, and just make everyone only hop like once or twice.
You sure?
Yeah, that's the guy who killed my father.
All right, vultures, rack 'em up.
Let's rip him quick.
Listen, Mo, you're making a big mistake.
Oh, Ben, you're right. We shouldn't do this quickly. We should draw
Can I
this
save
out,
at the
don't
moment?
you
Nope. There's a...
think, Susie?
Hey, I got all night. You heard her, kids. Let's draw this out.
I think I have two. And that's why I'm like, your father was killed.
Your father.
Don't you dare talk about my father, you heartless bastard.
I'm losing my temper, Marine.
And you're about to lose much more.
Malcolm wants...
I said shut up about my dad.
Corley and I
said shut up about my dad.
I'm innocent.
You're in something, all right.
Okay, that's enough.
Not quite.
Let me go, or else.
Or else what?
I'm going to exhaust all dialogue options as best as possible to stretch it out.
I'll sick the polecats on you.
I also just want to see if I can get them to rip them apart.
Remember?
Let me go, or else.
Or else what?
I'll tear this place apart.
Ironic choice of words, Ben.
Let me go, or else.
Or else what?
I'll get blood all over your driveway.
That's good for the landscaping, actually.
Let me go, or else.
Let me go, or else.
Or
I'll
else
call your
what?
names.
I'll call your names.
Like what?
Oh!
Rat bike right.
If there's anything I could have said that would make them kill me, it'd be that.
Let me go, or else.
Or else what?
I'll call your names.
Like what?
Freaky toaster-loving old maid. Let me go, or else.
Or else what?
I'll call your names.
Like what?
Mink farmer.
Alright. They come real damn close. And I probably, you know, my clothes are a little bit bigger now. But
Let me go, or
let's
else.
go ahead
Or
and
else what?
call her beloved
call
childhood
names.
nickname.
Like what?
Diaper Dynamo.
How? Where'd you hear that name?
Your father. He told me just before he died.
You bludgeoned my father and then talked about old times?
I didn't kill him. Ripburger did. A photographer took pictures, but her camera was stolen by the same thug that came after you.
Yeah.
I still have that roll.
Well, develop it, would you? While I still fit in my clothes?
Okay, you stay here.
Hey.
Taught a lesson. Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, well, don't sweat it.
I'm gonna get Ripburger even if I die trying.
Like,
No, we
was
had to
there
expose
an
Ripburger
audio
at the
commentary
shareholders
track there
meeting.
that I bailed on?
That way, we take him
feel
down,
like
we save my
It's
game,
nice to have a cutscene
and
where they're
your
not
father gets
talking
his
over it
dying
at the
wish.
moment.
You take over Corley Motors.
Ripburger can serve
I
the
understand it's a
shareholders meeting.
limitation.
He made
like,
a statement to the press that there'd be no meeting until the murderers were brought to justice.
So, no shareholders meeting until we're both dead?
That could be arranged.
Okay, so here we go. Faking Ben and Maureen's death. Act 1, Scene 1. Adrian Ripburger, in a desperate attempt to lure our Maureen out of hiding, has developed the following lame-ass scheme. First prize at tonight's smash-up derby is a vintage hardtail that Mo restored with her dad. Rip hopes Mo will try to nab said bike on account of her sentimental attachment to it. So Ben and Mo play along, put on disguises, and enter the demolition derby, which ends tragically when their cars explode and both are presumed dead.
Question.
Please
I'm
save your
curious.
questions until the end. Now, the explosives in Mo's car can only be
Did the-
triggered by a head-on collision with Ben's car.
Did the
His ejector seat
font
ejects Mo
just
clear of the explosion,
change?
and she parachutes to safety.
Don't you think someone will notice her rejecting out of her car?
No,
My brain just played.
they'll all be watching you running around on fire.
Yeah, that's another question I had.
Okay.
When your car explodes, you climb from it in flames. and run around the stadium distracting the audience. In your cute little asbestos suit.
The
of course.
asbestos suit.
That's some plan.
All right, then. Let's go blow you little darlings up.
Interesting.
All right, folks. Hang on to your chili dogs, because it's time to start. The Corley Motors
Okay.
Smashatorium Amateur Driver Ultimate Destruction Maximum Carnage Marathon. Let's meet our crash team.
They're like, no. We're still Lucas. Nice.
Oh, that's
It's just a lookalike.
that's awesome.
No, that's not George. It's
Still George.
Somebody in a George costume.
Hair.
See, they're all in disguise. Marine's got a wig on.
Now I'm just embarrassed for them. Who do they think they're fooling with those?
So I'm actually gonna step out for a quick bio break here. We're gonna pause that and pop back onto it. But I just wanted to say, when I first played the game, I did notice Mark Hamill in the intro, and I'd never ever heard. I didn't realize he was the Joker in the Batman animated series, so I never heard him as anything else than Luke Skywalker. And I was playing the whole game, listening for someone who might sound like Luke Skywalker, and I wasn't nailing it. And then when I beat the game, and I saw in the credits that he was Ripburger the whole time, it blew my fucking mind. I did not understand how Luke Skywalker sounded like that. Oh, I'm sure they mentioned it. I just hadn't read it. I just hopped right into the game right away. And then, but when I finished it, it says Mark Hamill is Adrian Ripburger, or however they say that. It just completely blew my mind. And then I started like paying attention, and then just seeing his body of work. Like, I would love, lots of people would be like, oh, could you, well, you know, if you meet him at a con or whatever, could you be Luke Skywalker? And it'd be hard not to ask Mark Hamill to be Luke Skywalker for a second. But I think he might get a kick out of the obscurity of asking him to be Adrian Ripburger again. Even though it's really, really similar to his Joker, just not insane until maybe later on. Anyways, that was just a little aside, and I can't help but think of little anecdotes from back when I first played, and that was a definite thing. Just did not realize it, and to realize that afterwards, you know, I could sort of find. Very possibly not, but it was something that he did at Lucasfilm, right? So, well, for them. So it might remember it there, or it might be one of the things that got his foot into voice acting as a whole. I don't know. I don't really know his chronology of that. And to be honest, I think I remember the Batman animated series a lot before this. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to pop out for about 10 minutes here, and I will be right back. Yeah, no, totally. But I lived in this really tiny little valley town where we had like 4 channels, and at no time was there more than 200 people, and you had to ride a boat for 4 hours to get there. So I was ill-informed at the time. But yeah. I will be right back. No. But I did live in Victoria as well, for a period of time. No, it was a place called Camano that was down the Douglas Channel from Kitimat, where I currently live. But no, I did live in Victoria. But I actually did live in Victoria in, I do believe it was 1993 or 1994. And I worked in a video game store there. I was like 11 years old, and it was really cool. And it was the year that Mortal Kombat came out on console, so I got to work in a video game store on the first Mortal Monday, which was really, really neat. But yeah, I'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, I am back. Thank you for being late. Resume. So, one last thing. Commando was sort of neat. It was a tiny valley. And then I moved from there to Victoria, which was a huge culture shock, because Commando at no point was there more than 200 people. And it was... but it was beautiful, and I miss it.
Ludicrous disguises.
And next to him is another masked newcomer. Please give a big smashatorium salute to the
Doreen
Princess of
Smorley.
Pile-Up, Doreen
The
Smorley.
Yeah, Victoria is absolutely not that small. But there are some tiny communities on Vancouver Island as well.
Try and get away now.
Mostly those ones are built along the side of the road.
Are you ready to see some unnecessarily violent destruction? Then let the demolition derby begin.
Where are you, Ben?
Hang on, Mo. Here I come.
Oh, don't do that to me thing. Curse of not playing full screen, so...
That car stalled when I bounced off the roof. Looks like these babies have a glass jaw.
What are you doing? Get
What
over
plan,
here and
Shill?
nail me.
Watch out for the Boom Boom Brothers, Mo.
Okay. Stop just gunning it and be more precise in actions. This doesn't go far enough without it, does it? No. No, you gotta get the other car forward. Stop doing that, mouse. Keep accidentally hitting my fucking start window, and it's really frustrating me. I've actually never used the keyboard to control this part, so that would be an unfamiliar way for me to do that. Let's accelerate. Just forward. Okay. Back when we used. Oh, I am getting a phone call. Yeah. My apologies, guys. My wife is calling. Hey, hon. I am still in the middle of stream, and I was just out there. But if you want to pop in with the beer, that'd be cool. And then chill with me. Or is Deb out there with you? Okay. Okay, I'll come out as soon as I can. Okay, love you, bud. Bye. Apparently, I went for my little bit there a little bit too soon. Just missed her by minutes. That sucks. In the right spot, guys.
Okay, Boom Boom Brothers. It's all over.
Get him! What are you doing? Are you taking a nap? Idiots.
Okay, Mo. Time for our big finale.
Do it!
Now that's an explosion, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for the hint. That did make it much easier.
What's that? It's the unknown Avenger.
And I no longer had to worry about clicking off the window. I prefer to have it in a windowed form so I can have the chat window right beside it and see.
What a show, huh? This is your moment to shine. What a pain threshold.
Ben, quit clowning around and make a diversion.
I am a diversion.
No offense, but we need a bigger one.
That's the plan.
park is guarded.
I would also argue that these now look more like boxes than bales of hay.
Alright, I'll see what I can do, but I'm burning at both ends here.
Previously, I just assumed they were bales of hay. It's a common thing for padding on the side of somewhere. Now they look like boxes, which perhaps is what they were supposed to be in the first place.
Looks like the party's getting a little out of hand. The stadium seems to be catching fire. But let's all remain calm and... Yeah, you're right. The derby's over. Run for your lives!
And now it very much looks like they are boxes, or the bars that hold them are
Finally.
taking away.
Squish
Proto-Cola
that firefly while he's hot.
seemed like something that could have been different.
Look at him run.
Yeah, I saw that when I flipped it over. Just seemed like I've had my eyes open for like more sort of like different changes in these remasters after what you pointed out with Monkey Island 2. I'm sure I missed some things.
What happened? Did you get him?
We finally got him, Bolus. That means Ripburger has to make us vice presidents now, like he promised, and give us 10,000 shares of stock each. Funny smell? What's that? The temperature light?
Well, on the bright side, I just made 20,000 shares of stock. Time to start the shareholders meeting.
Where's the hardtail?
All over the floor, Mr. Avenger.
What? What happened to your deep sentimental attachment to your father's vintage bike?
The power
It's just a bike. I can put it back together in about a half an hour. That's assuming, of course, I can find that key.
Of the internet and its ability to affect things, and I would hope that at least that it was a response to constructive criticism and not just straight up, oh, you guys fucked it up and blah. Because like there are ways to deal with these things, right? Like, what key
are you talking about?
Key to my dad's safe. I remember he hid it somewhere on this bike, but I've looked everywhere and I can't find anything that even looks like a key.
That's true. And I guess maybe it's to say it was like the gas tank, but it's totally just mirrored. That's purely to extend the screen too, correct? Yeah, totally. And this, well, that's strong. There's one thing I will give Double Fine a lot of credit though for, and it's in their remasters. They didn't do a whole lot of this stampy stuff like they did the first special edition for Monkey Island.
What are we in, anyway?
It's a C-330 Big Mouth industrial cargo jumbo transport we fixed up. We want to get it rolling so we can take it to biker rallies.
You're going to try to fly this thing?
Rolling, Ben. Rolling. This baby's flying days are over, just like mine.
But how are we going to get in the factory?
In the back of the factory, there's a secret entrance that leads straight into Dad's office. He used to sneak me in so I could help him with his bike designs.
When he got too old to do all the work himself?
Nah, this was back when I was 6.
How was your flight?
Well, there were some explosions during takeoff, and I landed in a minefield. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah. Oh, and I believe that like if they wanted to just do letterboxing instead of the widescreen presentation for this, they easily could have. I mean, just have Chan draw some amazing fucking border for the outside, or you know.
I'll see what I can do.
Right.
Let's get our code. It's been probably the 154492 right here. Let's throw that in the chat. Or it could be 124708, but and that is not. I guess that's a dash. It's 154492. What's that? Commentary.
So, Keith of the Gaunt Jackals recommended a guy he knew who had a Harley with straight pipes, big old chopper, and every single cylinder stroke sounded literally like a cannon going off. I mean, literally. And that's Ben's bike. And we did a bunch of pass-bys and starts and all the things that you would do. But the best recording that came out was strapping a Walkman Pro with a cassette. It was a cassette recorder, which was actually really good that it wasn't digital, you know, that it was recording on a magnetic tape because it's such a loud sound pressure. And we strapped it on the back of his bike with a gooseneck going to
with an SM57,
which for audio people who
it's the workhorse of microphones.
Is often used on a snare drum. It can take a lot of sound pressure level. These mics, they just you could mic, you know, a cannon.
It was invented for the military.
Oh, really? Was it?
That's what Camden said the other day.
Wow. Okay.
He's probably right.
So I just strapped it on the back of his bike, and he just rode around, and that ended up being the cleanest recordings, the best recordings. We got accelerates, we got steadies, we got all kinds of stuff from that, and much of it was cut in without any processing or pitch shift or anything like that. It was just the sound of that wonderful Harley. So the driver of that almost dumped it though because it started raining. So we had to store it in the LucasArts lobby.
Right.
And
I love the commentary.
Here, take the photos. I don't want them. Show them to someone important if you get a chance.
That's the plan, man. We gotta follow the shiny trail. Place is still on fucking fire. I mean, sorry, this is Malcolm Corley's house. We should feel bad about it, but she told me about it. She volunteered the info, so. But yeah, I keep now. She volunteered it herself. She said there's a secret entrance. There we go. Now I wish I could go back and try that spot, because that's a spot I didn't try before. But, oh well.
There's some sort of card. A tape. I sure hope that's Corley's.
Well, there's a fart joke. That nice.
I do remember one time, like right as we were about to ship, I was testing it at home, like all
I
night
know they have
long trying to
Casey
crash it.
Ackley. I thought Jonathan
Started
Ackley
to
was
doze off, and the
involved
cat
in this.
walked across the keyboard and crashed the game.
Oh, that's right, the cat crash bug.
The cat bug.
And we could never, your cat would not
Could
reproduce
not
it for us.
reproduce that bug.
And they were like, "Oh, we've got to fix it." And it's like,
I feel
Bring
like
the
this.
cat in.
This.
Bring the cat in.
bro, I can't.
Did you think that?
This is
Everybody
weird.
had a
What was
cat.
the name of
We
that
started
cat?
bringing cats into the pit.
Did you
But
make
it's
it?
part of the original. It's just a weird reflection for no reason.
Thank you.
The floor is reflective here, yes, and it is reflecting some of this, but that's a hard, visible reflection with little other detail. Like, it's... Yeah, absolutely. The carpet on top of it. Okay, yeah, that would explain that. Okay. I think it could have just done with being lightened and slightly not the same color. I'm sure it was a limitation of the palette. They already explored this palette quite hard throughout that, so I don't claim to understand the technicality of it any further beyond my own observation and conjecture. Yeah, it's just little parts of it. Maybe that's how they were handling it stylistically. Or maybe the bars were added as an afterthought post making this reflection, and they just decided to not bother adding bars into it. I am over criticizing something that I couldn't possibly do myself, so it's beautiful. It's awesome. There's a skeleton here. There's a skeleton. Sorry. Yeah, there's angels. There's death over here. There's skeleton. Like, there's a skeleton. There's death. There's. I guess I've just never really noticed that part of the background. There's commentary.
This is the last game I ever programmed on, I believe.
Oh my
We're
god.
doing Ben crawling all over the semi and doing the bunny stuff, which is maybe why it was such a problem. This is an interesting transition for me in learning about schedules and how terrible and hard they are. Because Day of the Tentacle, I feel like was the last game we did that was on time.
Yeah.
It was not a breeze, but it was like no crunch mode, followed the schedule. And part of that is because we had an extra 6 months at the end because of adding the voice we had.
Right.
But and this is the first game that went way over budget that I worked on. And and first time I had a producer, which is Casey. So she would come in, and I just remember you asked you
Like a specter.
yeah, she'd come in and be like, Tim, when is this gonna be done?
Gonna have to re-listen to that.
Started.
Was not only an inspirational leader, but also a great personal
friend.
His loss affects us all deeply. Malcolm and I spoke often of the future. We talked of a day when Corley Motors would move beyond its humble beginnings into a new vehicular age.
You can say, like, if he took his Joker voice
Tragic death took him
and put it in a suit and took out the crazy, that's this voice.
Malcolm Corley's dream remains. And I shall carry out that dream in his memory. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you the future of Corley Motors. The Corley Minivan.
Oh, it's also worth noting here that since we're talking about extension, okay, no,
Corley
it's
was
gone.
right. I never dreamed
The-
it would actually come to minivans, though.
Yeah, the character sprites weren't animated outside of the original presentation in the center, right? Ooh, you can see a hard line there. It's just used as part of the background. That makes sense, but boom, that's where it's supposed to be. Boom, here's the hard line in the background in between the two. And I just want to say, if anybody from Double Fine is at the moment watching, this is why I continuously say I am criticizing something that I couldn't possibly do any better. I'm not sitting here saying that in any way makes it. This is beautiful, and I'm grateful for it. But I can't. I see that. And it doesn't matter that that's there. And, you know, yeah, it's beautiful. And the fact that they're making these palatable to newer generations. Although I have to say, pixel art's really, really popular right now. I think the fact that's actually a barrier to potentially getting our Curse of Monkey Island remaster one day is people sort of like pixel art right now. So, all right. First, let's get that lady out of here. Bye. Killing the motor and cranking the heat. There's commentary.
What you see before you right now is my vision for creation.
Yeah, I mean, I can still do that.
Oh, perfect. This is a disaster.
Also, that's totally Nurse Edna.
We're gonna have some major downtime here.
With,
Why don't you tell a joke or something?
If you, have you watched Venture Brothers? Because that's totally Professor Girlfriend or whatever.
You know,
Nick
this
Jameson
reminds me of an amusing anecdote
Mavis.
about her.
Like, why is Mavis in a nurse costume? It just looks like Nurse Edna to me. Oh, not in a nurse costume. My brain is weird. But
I'm out of ideas.
still, totally. That would be cool.
This is the last game I ever programmed on, I believe. I remember doing Ben crawling all over the semi and doing the bunny stuff, which is maybe why it was such a problem. This is an interesting transition for me,
I like
learning
that.
about schedules and how terrible.
The only other person who I think of that could be would be the Vulture leader, which I think that there's enough direct interaction between her and Maureen for them to actually address that somehow. So I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
And first time I had a producer.
Because I mean, they could, they would have had her. Susie seems like the type of person who would throw out the point that, oh yeah, you know, he was fun back in the day or something like that.
And I told this to you, like I don't know how to express this, but I feel like you come and ask me a question.
Although that would explain why she's just Vulture through and through. But Maureen would have found her way there if we think of who Maureen is or who we know of.
Hey, when is it that George came down and spoke to us all, and he said he had his 55% rule? There was a game that precipitated that.
I thought it was 40. If you get 45% of what you want, then you're.
No, 55.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 55. No, it was just over half. He goes, if you got this great idea and you think it's going to be killer, and you through the realities of relegating it with a team and all the collaboration, all the technical limitations, you get it to 55% of relegating your concept, the audience will get it. And it's time to let go and ship your products, folks. Like, come on. Right. This is a business after all.
All right. I find this part amusing too, because that means they had Mark Hamill mumbling, just like, for lack of a better term, lorem ipsum, into a microphone for filler in between these bites. Or maybe it was just a conversation that they were having that they heavily muted down. And if that's the case, I sort of want to get that and try to find a way to clear it up. Before putting that effort in, maybe I just ask him on Twitter, though.
Time to grow up.
Time to grow up? Okay. Let's show the world you killing people.
This next slide shows our new,
more aggressive corporate strategy.
Where'd you get the idea of him having a New England accent? It's really cool.
Pepperidge Farms guy,
Pepperidge Farms.
I don't
here with these bikers.
Is this the
Totally.
Voice for
Let's
this
see.
game. I was more removed from it than I would be on future games. I got really involved in the casting with them. So I was involved
Only
in
in the
casting
leap
of
of
Ben
lion's
and
head
stuff,
would he
but
prove his worth.
Tamlin,
It's a leap
Neilio,
of
and Chris
faith.
Brown did a lot of it on their own, and they went and recorded definitely without me. And so I don't remember. And Tamlin's thing was we got to differentiate all these characters,
Right.
and that's where a lot of the crazy accents come from. Is like we got to make them stand out from each other.
They work. They're great.
How do I turn this damn thing off?
You tried so hard to cover it.
To hear that, Tate, from one of Malcolm's psychiatric sessions. Near the end, he suffered many paranoid delusions. He was haunted by
Powerful forces of his own creation.
And here's one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maureen Corley, and do I have a heck of a story for you. By the time I'm done, you'll see why this man should be in jail. Hey,
You know, they threw some shading on the side. In the original, does it have the shading though? Oh, we're not gonna get. Are we gonna get to see it again? It's okay. Run, Ripburger.
sent his goons after me.
In the end, we'll just follow the shiny trail.
Run, Ripburger. When it's time to find you, we'll just follow the shiny trail.
Yes, of course we'll have daycare facilities. Any other questions? Oh, speak of the devil. Come over here, Ben. That's great, Ben. You're finally where we were meant to be all along.
So,
False ending time, ladies and gentlemen.
get my gang
This
out of
feels
jail.
like it should be
And
like
you'll
this is
find out
where
why
it's
my
stopping.
gang never showed up to
We've
help
won the
us.
day. Let's all have a good
Good
time. Let's play the
Don't
peaceful
remind
music.
me.
Don't complain. You're going to be rich.
At this point, I'd settle
Where'd
for
the
just a
peaceful
little
music go?
peace and quiet.
Guys? Oh shit. That's the truck he got away in. Oh no. I know, right? She has a really nice bike too. And like, all of a sudden, you just see her go under the truck. She might as well be dead right now as far as Ben is concerned.
Inherent dangers of motorcycle operation.
Can't you make this damn thing go any faster?
I think it's to up the stakes for Ben. It's okay for Ben to just try to kill this fucking guy now. Fuck you, Ripburger. You're a fucking king.
You need more than a king.
Pardon my
and I'm
French.
through with you, Ripburger.
I love how the rest of this plays like a fucking awesome action movie.
No one sneaks up on me from behind.
Boom. Ow. Dodging bullets. Doozy can take a fall, man.
I thought you said this thing couldn't move.
I said it couldn't fly. I never said it couldn't taxi.
Well, flying would be nice since we're headed for the gorge.
Ripburger, you're going to kill all of us?
Shh, Ben, don't ruin it.
Interesting.
How do you stop this thing?
From the cockpit.
Actually, I think I remember you had that on your website, right?
Ah!
Oh,
Careful, Ben.
Oh.
So much for the controls.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked.
Use those.
You only need one single button game, dude. In-flight landing. Runway landing. We want menu. Yeah, no, that's not what we're trying to do. Oh wait, yeah, no, takeoff. Yeah. Post takeoff gear. Raise gear.
Here goes nothing.
What the?
There's a self-destruct code? Nice.
Ben, what did you do?
I didn't know of that. Oh. Oh, okay.
Ben, are you alive?
I am, but I don't know about Ripburger.
I can see him. He's out cold. Climb back here quick.
No. Because we gotta do the thing. Fence menu. Machine guns. Control. Commentary. Thank you. Not letting me. There we go.
I feel like I remember programming this part too, because it was all. This is all
Thank
like
you.
a reference to Dr. Strangelove. The code that you enter is I think preserve our essence.
Yeah,
which is
or
a big
Peter.
Peace
or,
on
or,
earth, purity of essence.
Yeah.
Purity of essence, right? Or peace on earth. Yeah, something like that.
Mandrake, ever been a prisoner of war?
Yeah. Why, yes, sir.
Yes, Jack. As a matter of fact, I have.
Oh. Took too long. No. Bad ending.
Let me try that again.
We got the bad ending, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it did. I'm gonna try it again. It took too long. There's a timer on that moment. So, we're gonna play it again, but I do think that it was right at the end of it, but
Ben,
for the sake of it.
Climb back here quick.
No. I gotta listen to
I feel like
I gotta
remember
listen to them
programming
talk
this
there.
part too, because it was all. This is all like a reference
Excuse
to
me.
Dr. Strangelove. The code that you enter is I think preserve our essence.
Yeah,
which is
or
a big
Peter.
Peace
or,
on
or,
earth, purity
yeah,
of essence.
Yeah.
Purity of essence, right? Or peace on earth. Yeah, something like that.
Mandrake, ever been a prisoner of war?
Yeah. Why, yes, sir.
Yes, Jack. As a matter of fact, I have.
Oh my god, it was the end. Okay, cool. Let's do this, and hopefully we have enough time, and we're gonna totally deactivate the machine guns. Control. System on. Can't beat a Corley. Can't beat a Corley. Hi to Ozzy. He's the prince of the fucking darkness.
Well, that answers that.
But I think you're more likely right about that, because I haven't ever even thought of it before. So. Falling all the way to Australia. That totally works.
Wait, come back. We need your weight in the plane.
Oh wait, and because it's remastered. Yeah, the bike's over here for some reason.
And I think the explosion looks like a giant croissant chasing you out of the plane. Watch this. Look for the croissant.
Must have been breakfast.
Here
when
comes.
we animated.
And croissant.
Yeah.
Delicious. That's my favorite. Okay, that is a favorite.
Yeah, you had to scroll to get it. They moved it for that. I should have taken a look at the thing.
Life
Which came to him.
and he played it.
By his
by
own
his own rules. He was a mystery to most of us, and yet an inspiration to us all. He gave us freedom. He gave us power. He gave us wings. He gave us wheels. Thank you, Malcolm Corley, for giving us a dream that will never die.
So, maybe we could do lunch sometime next week.
Yeah, sure. Lunch sounds great.
Matilda.
Things aren't gonna change, are they, Ben? I mean, just because I'm in charge of the company now, and living in a mansion.
I still don't understand why developers are so against
That doesn't
us
mean you won't spend a lot of
experiencing their debug mode codes. I get it, it takes away from the presentation, but clearly you're not doing that when you're doing initial
Ben.
gameplay.
Just a second. Hello? What? No, that's crazy. Is he nuts? Look, move the meeting up to 5.
There's
and
such
tell the plant
cool
foreman
things
that
to
I'm coming
find,
over personally to
because you
inspect
can
those
usually
parts.
go to
I know,
areas
that's what I
that
told
aren't
him.
even in the game, that just happen to still be in the code.
Excuse me, what was that last part? No, that alloy was flawed to begin with. Uh-huh, yeah, good, great.
I did not notice that. Interesting. Boom, 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 boom. That's the way it begins. You try to fit in, man, and you try to fit in. Uh-huh. That's a man it seems, but not that much. Wait, I think that I do vaguely remember going around and playing in the demo to get my little elves that came into the office while we slept. Nice. But no, I totally do remember screwing around in the demo back in the day. But now I have to go back and do it again, because that's awesome. Ben Throttle, Adrian Ripburger, Mark Hamill, and that's the moment my mind got blown the first time I ever played the game. Yeah. No, and that's where looking at the concept art and whatnot in this that you get, they reference him as Ben Throttle a lot. So that clearly was his name during development, but they decided to drop it because it was just Ben, right? And just Ben and just Mo. And yet we still will always he's Ben, but he's Ben Throttle, but he's Ben. Tress McNeil, Susie. That name sounds familiar. Where else is Tress used in these games? Tress McNeil. She sounds familiar. Steve Bloom is Sid. This happens to have one of the most prolific voice actors. Hammered on me. Maurice LaMarche. Hammered on me. Judith Lucero, Sean Turner, Gordon Baker, Graham Annabelle, Michael Slisco. You know, we talk about Graham a lot, but you don't hear much about Sean Turner or Gordon Baker or Slisco. Maybe they got out of it. Maybe, you know, Michael Levine, John Knowles, Harrison Fong, Bill Tiller, Colette Michaud. I just noticed that there's certain ones that we follow rather, you know, we followed Dominic Armato all over the world, you know, we watched him as he changed his careers and all that, but like, we didn't know what Alexander Boyd was doing. Not saying there's any, it's just, I guess we wanted to know more about what Guiber's voice is doing, which is a shame. He's been political analysis.
Custodian, they're like we'd be working late in crunch mode, and the janitor would come by to clean up, and we'd end up talking to him for a long time. His name was Paul. Do you remember Paul?
Mm-hmm.
And he had this crazy vacuum cleaner that he wore like a backpack, and he would go down and we would have these long talks with him about Haiti and stuff because I was like, I think we'd seen Serpent in the Rainbow or something. We were like,
Joe Ashburn.
Tell us about the Tonton Macu. And he would tell us all about the real Haitian politics and stuff.
If anybody from any of those dev teams watches this eventually, I'm a massive Joe Ashburn fanboy, and I would love to meet the man. I don't know how possible that is. Legacy. I really have to learn how to play this on guitar. Sounds so fucking fun. I need to find a decent tab for it, or just really work on my learning things by ear. Interesting. I'll have to poke around at that. Anyways, I mean, which one do I have my... It's too light for that. What's heavier? I don't know. I know nothing anymore. This one. Well, I just want to see that. Well, I'm gonna have to read through this. Did they do? They totally do. Oh no, it's Tim Schafer. According to Tim Schafer, he has no background, but informed sources have discovered that he attended UC Santa Cruz, then UC Berkeley. Majoring in computer science, a self-proclaimed computer worm in high school, Tim started programming games on the venerable low-memory computers of yore. Well, that's just telling me about people. Interesting. Oh my god, Roy Conrad totally did look like a dad. I've never seen a picture of him before. Anyways, it's really cool. I'm gonna have to go through all of this. I really haven't spent much time flipping through this, and I really should. It's awesome. Wow. Be careful, Box. my god, I can't believe I just did that. Put the bonds together upside down. This is different.
I think this is, I don't know, oh my god, I can't believe I got away with any of that. Like, someone complained about not being in credits, so I put him in his wine. Oh, what a jerk. Now I totally remember why people hated me.
Mind about not being in the credits. Well waved at the bar. Ranch. Alex Bennett. Specified Wrangling. Rain Jarkin. People like to thank the following people. Jonathan Ackley, Laura Ackley.
Bought you something.
I got a whole Dameron. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
Poe Dameron. And a beer. Awesome. Poe Dameron's gonna go beside my old hand bobblehead who stands beside Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I love you.
Love you.
Do you smell this like smoke? Is there a fire back?
Yeah, somebody's got a fire going.
Okay.
Love you.
I love you.
Some left the room.
They're all our kitty cats.
Oh, all these kitties.
This is what bothered me.
Another Chuck. 1976 and 1995. So maybe that was where Chuck came from. But he was just a tester on Maniac Mansion. He wouldn't have had much influence on things in the game. And that wouldn't imply any reason why it would be of any relevance to Ron Gilbert in the terms of... I'm not sure either, although it's top billing, so I'm gonna maybe assume that was one of the team. Tim would like to thank No Cats. Fair. Okay, so unless we can find some other random that might have had some connection to it, I'm just really determined to figure out what this whole Chuck thing is about. Like, that's, if I ever have the opportunity to have interviews, with Ron Gilbert or Eric Wilmund or any of the guys who from that end,
And now the odds are greatly increased.
and that would absolutely make sense. And the only thing that makes me wonder if there's more to it is just the whole plot of Thimbleweed Park, and it's just that anyways, it's probably just another random thing with no particular reason other than they like saying the word Chuck. Incidentally, my former worst enemy who became a good friend of mine, and now we just don't talk a whole lot anymore, he used to call me Chuck all the time, which was weird. But then again, it was because of Chuck Yeager, although he didn't know that. And so it wasn't because of Chuck Yeager. Paul.
I heard when they were getting punchy.
What Easter egg
was
was
that? I
that?
don't remember.
The safe.
The
When
safe.
you punch your code in the safe, if you enter Mark Crowley's birthday, then...
Oh,
What?
Can it be said?
do you remember that?
I don't even remember that. This goes to show
Is
you.
that ship in the game?
It's like Cooper
Yes,
Khan.
Oh, man.
Because it was the whole thing where we
Put
were
3
like
quarts
saying
of
that we
oil
had
in
to
the
know
car
about
and
like
it
every
can
single
still
Easter
take a
egg,
couple
just
more.
let us know so we knew it was there. And I guess they got punchy and decided to put it in.
There must have been some sort of gratification.
It says it's still in
But all
there.
these years later, we're
They're
grateful.
little
Grateful.
mechanical
Mark
bodies.
Crowley and his birthday, you can
And Flight of the Valkyries. March of the Valkyries. Flight of the Valkyries is it's Flight of the Valkyries. Is what's playing. One tried to put art jokes into the dig that didn't ship either. He was out for a week, and when he came back, they locked the code for testing. Couldn't take it back now. Let's go to bonus. Let's enjoy some concept art. I'm just flipping through because, to be honest, this is where we're going to be ending for the day. The game is over. These early Ben designs. Yes. These early Ben designs, I am glad that they went with what they did with the more stoic jawline. This is very Ripburger-y, frankly, with his like low sitting lips and high nose.
Should I take
This is like
beer?
if Ben was Sylvester Stallone.
Antidepressants mixed well with beer, right?
Now, I would buy this if they had, like, in the original storyline, if Ben was, like, I don't know, a grandson or something like that. Yeah, that's too much age difference. And he was just totally against it. If they went with this sort of art style, I think it's something that the fan community over 20 years or so would have ended up conjecturing about. Yeah, totally. Like, I don't agree with this minivan guy. And that's Ben. That is Ben. Different clothes. Same pants. I love you.
I love you. So I washed the car, moved it back to its spot. Got it sounding better with some new oil and fluids.
No. It was Frank and Ben.
I love you.
I love you.
I will have you bring in the playpen and ship from the yard, though.
Yep, totally. I'm just finishing up here. That's just, it's like, okay, this is final.
And then I bought the boys chalk. They're in the backyard with chalk and they're happy. Shit.
Somebody mean. And frankly, that's Quahog. And he wasn't very mean. In fact, he was sort of a pushover. He's the guy who, but the reason why I can't bring myself to get the septum ring. I showed you the cutscene.
You would look so good with one, though.
See, I told you she tried.
Fuck that guy.
Quahog.
Look, it's nice. I like it.
I don't know. It's see, there's just another Ripburger.
Okay, your opinion, ATM machine. Would a septum ring look good on Grant? And should we do it? And we can do it live if you want.
Excuse me, I have already said I don't want that, so,
I know. Fuck. Let me stab you, shit. I only have 2 beers.
Well, that's cool. I'm bummed that didn't become a thing. That's really neat. Oh my god.
We should almost Twitch stream your tattoo you're getting for your monkey meetup.
You know, I would. Is fear induced by this game having the man has a fear induced by this game of having nose rings pulled violently downwards on the bar-like surfaces. It's true. It's like,
I always listen to him. I give him a hard time because I love him.
what the heck?
And I know he listens to me too.
Absolutely. We're a team.
Yes, we are. It helps that we both do things that we like.
Yeah. Alright, like this one's very future curvy. I'm glad they didn't really go in this direction. I really have always loved the final limo design that they used. I thought that was a really, really cool sort of design for a hover limo. Plus, it worked as a great ramp for Ben at the beginning. Oh, Jesus. And yeah, this is what you were saying before. So, in the town of Melonweed, everything's sinking. And so the artist, Peter Chan. Do you want...
Continue, sorry. The artist, Peter Chan.
He really had a lot of fun with that. So at first, the concept was everything in town was sinking, and instead of dealing with the stuff before, they just started building stuff on top of it. And here, that's not really shown. This is more like, hey, this is what it was, but this is what happens is the house sinks into the ground, so they build another house on top of it instead of get rid of it. And that's sort of just Melonweed, right? And this is the final of it. essentially, and that's Mo's house built on top of this sunken other place. That like here's the facade of it too. Like,
But I wonder if they could still get into the sunken in one.
I mean,
It's just like a
potentially,
basement now.
potentially, but it might be full of mud or something. I don't know.
Fair.
Motorcycle factory. Trains. To kiss her lips. That's Throttle. This is almost like a completely different art style for the Rottweilers. Like, it doesn't feel like the same art style at all. Just the design of his head, the overall body shape, the hands, it's all very different, more angular. This is Peter Chan, but it feels very different.
I love you.
I love you. This feels like they were having trouble, and so they're like, because these almost feel like Maniac Mansion inspired titles. But probably with oil instead of slime. On the top right. Here. Yeah, I guess that could be the spires. Yeah, the folded front cover. Now, I have vivid memories of a trapezoid-shaped box for it, similar to what they did, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I really remember this thing. I swear I saw it back when they were being sold. It was an irregular shaped box with an additional cup on the bottom. Yeah, it wasn't like the triangle dot box. Yeah, and I remember I brought it up on LucasArts Museum back in the day, and we started looking for it. Nobody could find it, so it's probably just my memory all fucked up. But I swear when I saw it in my local computer store, it wasn't just a normal box shape. And as it is, they went sideways instead of the usual up and down, which I had to I had to track down a European release of the box to try to get one that, would hang out on the shelf with the other boxes the same size. But I also picked up a bunch of the other ones as well. Yeah, no, I want to hunt that down. I want to know, I want to figure out who I need to talk to even verify it might exist. I need anybody else to confirm it. Otherwise, it's just my brain is stupid, but I swear I can see it.
What's in there? Holy fuck.
Should get this shatter.
Yeah. His shatter pen is really strong.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
You just pop on that all day.
And think when it starts kicking my ass after a bit. That's usually after a bit.
Fuck.
Then with that earring. Where's the earring? He does have an earring there. Oh. Also, I'm going to say that the overlining here makes Ben look older. I imagine it's like the same pictures, but this one looks older than all the rest. Maybe it's just because it's not effectively colored in the hair. Todd's early versions, like, I guess we just, don't really see him front forward, so that could be the way he looks final, but that doesn't feel right to me. Maximum fish. There's the. I bet you this is where they first came up with Ben's hair. Is on evil trucker here. Because it's totally Ben's hair. Another vulture. Seriously. Vulture tattoo. Adrian Ripburger. This smile, this Grinch's smile on him is great. G-letter. M-crash. Demo Field. Tom Booth. Driving Tour. Rip's Box. Smashing Backlog. Cody's Office. Which would be why they, like in the commentary for Day of the Tentacle, Tim Schafer thought Peter Chan did it that way there, because that's how they did it in this. Now, it would be cool if there was a noir mode in this game, because I think it would play very well in that tone as well. If you could go black and white like in Sam & Max, I think that would have played off wonderfully. I don't think it's necessary, because I think they managed to still get a decent noir-esque presentation without requiring it, at least in areas that are darker, shadowy. But that would be very cool. P-Chan. This is definitely Peter Chan, but I'm going to say this is... There's something about just the grass and the lines here that feels very Steve Purcell, and maybe it's just because of how much Peter Chan's worked on various, like on Steve Purcell projects and whatnot. Maybe that's why, or it's just what he picked up from working with Steve Purcell. It just feels like the way shadows being used here is very much how Steve Purcell, like in his comics, handles that sort of thing in the back. Yeah, totally. But Peter Chan learned a lot from Steve Purcell, so... Totally. Absolutely. The reflection. The toaster. Sorry for going fast, but my wife is expecting me to go help soon, so I'm just gonna get through this here. Totally. This would make a good mailbox post. In hell. Yeah, alright. Yay. But why don't I have Legacy? Oh, that sucks. Oh, back. Alright. Well, I should probably go off and help here. Yeah, well, I mean, because returning to what you just said here too, MI2, we know for a fact that some of them had to be done black and white. Not all of them were fully, fully done with the markers as well, because that extra scene that was in the Ron Gilbert live stream, right, with the voodoo room. So that was not colored. That was black and white. So there has to be some art that was done after the fact. And if you look at the coloring in LeChuck's Fortress, it all being within that same palette, maybe that's why. That would make it easier to stay within the palette that you had available. I would think. It's all conjecture. Anyways, I do have to take off, so thank you very much for joining me again in ATM. It's always fun to chat about this stuff. Our next game, which will be starting on Tuesday, will be The Dig. And, then we get to finally get back to some Monkey Island. Where am I? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I should pop in and take a look through the concept art gallery again. I did pop in the special edition and went through the storyboards for the canceled movie, but I didn't really go through the other stuff, so I definitely should. But I gotta go. You have an awesome day. Take care. Thanks for joining the stream. If you guys are watching the stream and its eventual recut on YouTube, which I have to admit I need to catch up on because I haven't uploaded anything since the Monkey Island 2 playthroughs. I know we just did the Dig streams recently and we covered a lot of this stuff with Scorpy, so it is going to be a bit of a retread, but I can't bring myself to skip anything now after going through the chronology this far, so covered a lot of games on that shelf in the meantime. So yeah, if I see you, you'll be there, but if not, I understand. And yeah, we'll be I'm gonna try to get through the Dig. I'm not gonna say as fast as possible because there's exploring to do and stuff to talk about, but I can't wait to get to Curse of Monkey Island, so might go through the Dig faster than planning. Anyways, okay, awesome. Have a great day, man. Take care, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube eventually, whenever that happens. Thanks for joining us. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next stream. Cheers.